Quick 5 minutes from me, but I think one thing just to sort of touch on first is this transition from tools to coworkers. I think we've heard a lot about tools, but we really think at Focaldata the future is coworkers, something that you can speak to that takes an objective and really runs through to a result, not something where you have to sort of clicky and you get some generated text, but really something you speak to like your coworker. And just very, very quickly on why we think this transition is important. You know, when we speak to customers, there are two big problems. One, the existing tools for research are rubbish, and you don't really get much insight from them. But actually bigger than that was, my team's too busy, too resource constrained, I haven't got enough time to run all the research I want, whether it's the marketing team, the brand team, the strategy team. So what I really need is either you could come up with a cloning machine, or you could come up with an AI coworker that could run the entire project end to end. And this is what we're building at Focaldata. And I think you're seeing this paradigm across software engineering. I don't know if any of you guys know about Devin that was recently released in software engineering. You're going to see this paradigm across many, many industries. And what does this really mean? Well, with us, you know, these are, you know, let's say, I think this is an example that we're doing for the Ministry of Defence in the UK about trying to combat misinformation. You literally go in and you speak to the coworker. You know, I'm trying to understand, persuade people not to share so much misinformation. I don't know what research to do. I don't know the methodologies. I'm not an expert. We'll automatically generate a plan, costs, timelines. We automatically generate all the sort of discussion guide, what the AI is going to speak to people about, who it's going to speak to people. Really, you know, there's human in the loop, but really AI is in the driving seat. It's determining the entire research proposal, the whole research project. Then we go on and we speak to thousands of people automatically in a one-on-one conversation, a conversation that is, you know, equivalent, I'd say, to a sort of, you know, 5-year experienced qual researcher. Again, these are sort of one-on-one conversations with people. There's really no human in the loop here. You've really set your objective. It's generated your plan. Then it's going and executing that plan in hundreds of one-on-one conversations, trying to maximize the information collection for the objective. So in this case, trying to understand how to persuade people not to share so much misinformation. And this is obviously incredibly powerful, I think, for a few, you know, major key reasons. One is, you know, you don't need to be an expert to run incredibly high quality research. The AI has expertise bedded in, not actually within the existing models. You know, we actually inject it through fine tuning and some prompt engineering, but it really gives you really strong guardrails to run the most high quality research in the world. Secondly, you're able to hold one-on-one interviews with thousands of people in hours. So think about product management, think about being able to speak to people as humans, but, you know, obviously no one has the time to run thousands of one-on-one interviews. So the quality of insight you get is incredibly high. But then you get all this data. So we recently, you know, did a project, I think 500 interviews equated to the length of War and Peace. No one's going to read War and Peace in a couple of days and, you know, modern timelines. So the AI as well is about, you know, embedded into report generation, being able to ask questions. I think Noah talked about RAG earlier. This is a RAG system as well. It's probably pretty similar to one he's actually built as well. And, you know, this means automatic report generation. Any person can come in and speak to the data instantly. You can get incredibly high quality insights and sort of reports. So you can see really that this is not just the sort of tool which you are responsible for a lot of sort of clicky, okay, I'm still kind of doing all the work, to really now it's about, okay, I give it an objective. Okay, I can say, okay, I'm trying to retain more customers. I'm trying to persuade people to buy a new toothpaste. I'm trying to understand how I can get people to be more sustainable. And the system will go in and speak to people at massive scale and tell you what to do. And so we see this applied to multiple business teams. And I'm out of time, but that's basically it. Unfortunately, no questions, but I'm happy to take questions. But no, I'm not allowed. We can speak afterwards. That's great. Anyway, here you go.